So I'd like to show you real quick using these sketches the main differences between a conventional crawl space and a conditioned crawl space, and how we do it at Pinion Development. So what you're looking at is a conventional crawl space. You've got your living area up above and your crawl space down below. And the way that this is typically vented is with vents in your stem wall or in the rim joist. You'll see it different ways, which in our opinion does not look that aesthetic from outside, but functionally I'll go through the main functional detriments to doing your crawl space this way. So let's say the wind is blowing from the right. It goes in this vent into the crawl space, blows around, circulates around your furnace and your ducts, picks up any moisture and radon gases, and allegedly vents those out the windwards or the leeward side, like you see here. The main things I want to point out obviously is that your furnace and your ductwork are down here in this cold air. You lose a lot of efficiency that you put into your furnace if you do buy a high efficiency furnace to that cold air. It basically just sweeps by that ductwork in your furnace and takes away that warm air and vents it out the side. You also have insulation on your floor joists because you've got cold air down here as opposed to your conditioned air up here. And even with that insulation you will get cold floors where you have tile, especially. The temperature down below and the temperature up above, there's such a great difference that you will get that heat transfer even through insulation down into the crawl space. Big things: there's no fresh air exchange system, and when you build your homes as tight as we build ours, you really need a fresh air exchange system to bring fresh air into the house. It helps your indoor air quality greatly. There's no effective radon mitigation. Basically the only way to mitigate the radon in this sketch is this natural venting with wind through your crawl space. There's still the opportunity for radon gases to go up through your floor joists because there's not a barrier typically put here for mold reasons. Your crawl space is about 10 degrees or so from the outside temp, so in the wintertime that's pretty cold down there. And the big thing is that your forced air ducts and your furnace are surrounded by cold air. So, like I said before, you lose a lot of that energy and efficiency to that cold air down below. Now let's move and I'll show you what we do at Pinion Development that is by far a much better practice. At the heart of our system is this high efficiency vent fan down in the crawl space that's constantly trickling air out of your crawl space. Air from the inside of the house, that conditioned air from your living space, flows down into the crawl space through some predetermined or pre-installed ducts that allow that air to go down in your crawl space and move around and condition the air down here. And then the makeup air for that, for your living area, comes through very small microscopic cracks in windows and doors that you see here. No matter how tight you have your windows, unless it's a fixed pane window, you're going to get a little bit of leakage, which is a good thing because, like I had said before, if you build your homes as tight as we build them, you want to make sure you're venting them and you're bringing fresh air into the home. And this is a way that we do it. It really does make a big difference. Another thing to point out here, we do have a vapor barrier along the bottom of the crawl space that catches any moisture or radon gases, and it vents out this radon vent pipe out your roof. So none of those gases ever come into contact with any of the air inside of your conditioned space here. We insulate the stem walls because now you've got conditioned air down here in the crawl space, and so your thermal envelope ends right here as opposed to on the last sketch where the floor joists are. So you also reduce the amount of cold floors you feel on your feet because the air down below is pretty much the same temperature as the air up above. And then the last thing I'll point out is that your furnace and your ductwork are all flowing through conditioned air. So if you do buy a high efficiency furnace, you're going to be able to realize all the heat and the efficiency that you paid for by getting that, because you're not losing any of that to your crawl space cold air that you would see on a conventional crawl space. So again, our system is by far superior to a conventional way of doing it because of the following big reasons. Our system provides a constant trickle of fresh air in the home, which helps your indoor air quality greatly. We do install an EPA recommended radon venting system, which which is demonstrated here by this vent pipe that goes straight out your roof. Your crawl space is typically within about 5 degrees of the inside temperature as opposed to within about 10 degrees of the outside temperature. And your forced air ducts and your furnace are surrounded by conditioned air, which increases the efficiency of your entire system. So let me bring these two sketches together so you have one last look. Your conventional crawl space, not much going on. Your conditioned crawl space, a relatively simple and cost-effective way of increasing the efficiency of your furnace and your duct system, as well as indoor air quality.